How you guys doing? My name is PJ. Today I'll be talking about two films. City of God, a film that came out in 2002 in Brazil, and Piranhas, a film that came out in 2018, 2019, based in Italy. Both of the films based about, urban youth and crime and, poverty and violence, and how, these things shaped the lives of these young kids. And, these kids come from two different areas in the world, but they kind of face the same problems. And that leads me to my focus of my research, and some of the questions that I have for you guys is, how do you feel like these films that we're going to get into and we're going to discuss impact and kind of show the conditions of urban youth, and what do these reveal about the social issues in Brazil and Italy today? These kids basically in these films went through a lot of poverty, went through a lot of violence, and it was because of lack of opportunities, lack of stable homes, lack of education, lack of respect for the rules. And that's not something you are born with, that's something you're taught. And, a lot of these, poverty and opportunities push kids into crime. City of God was a film that, took place in 2002, but the director, and some of my research that I went through, the director came out and kind of spoke about how some of the stuff that he talked about and he wanted to get across in the film in 2002 are still present in today's time. And, I think for a film to have themes that are present 2 decades later speaks about the lack of progress of that area. And it also speaks on the creativity and the genius of that director and how he was able to kind of predict the future in a sense. And the editing of the film was amazing because it was fast paced, it was chaotic, it was a lot of cuts, it was a lot of storytelling going on that focused on a lot of different characters, and they all had the same background. And it was just a great film and all, to be honest with you. And the Piranhas was a film that was a little slow paced, it was a little more personal, more intimate, and had a lot of things going on as well. But both the films had violence, both of the films had a chaotic approach to kind of telling the film. And it's a film really that both films, is something I took away, is that there's a lifestyle and an environment that trap these young guys into same cycles of crime. Time after time after time, you see this happening. And I think that goes back to my research question is, what do you think the conditions of these areas are? What do you think the broader social issues is? Is it a lack of leadership from the top that helps these kids not be able to get into well-paying jobs and go into crime? I kind of want to speak on my poster a little bit. I put a lot of work into it, and it was created because I really want to show two parts of the scene, two pictures from the scenes of the film. On the left-hand side, you see City of God as a kid. Unfortunately, you see the violent nature that goes on, and also, Piranhas, all the characters. And I think something in the film was that a lot of these scenes and a lot of the moments in the film, there was a lot of people around, and it was something kind of like everyone was kind of influenced of each other, and they all had kind of a bad mindset, and it speaks to kind of the environment. We also see some of the charts that are there are the cycles of crime and the waves of crime that's happening over the years. And you see the research question there, and you see some of the things I talked about, my key findings with the editing and the real themes and the narratives of the films. And the conclusion really of this all is just how are we able to help these areas, and what do we think about the leadership allowing these areas to have so much crime? Because that's not, like I said, it's not something you're born with, it's something you're taught, something you're pushed into. And what do you think about these cycles? I hope you guys are able to check out these films and do your own research, because it's also an amazing film that I enjoyed getting to know.